Invincible has come a long way from the kid who got tossed around in Season 1. Back then, Mark Grayson had power, but he did not know how to use it. He had Viltrumite's strength, but not the experience, control, or mindset. Every big fight showed the same thing. He had potential, but he was still raw. By Season 4, that version of Mark is gone. This is a stronger, tougher, more dangerous Invincible. To understand how strong he is, you have to understand how Viltrumites grow. They get stronger through age, combat, and survival. Every brutal fight pushes them forward. Every near-death experience hardens them. And Mark has had plenty of both. He has been beaten, broken, and bloodied more times than most heroes would survive. But every time he comes back stronger. That is what makes Season 4 Invincible so dangerous. He is no longer learning what he is. He is becoming what he was always meant to be. The biggest jump is his physical strength. Early on, Mark could fight strong enemies, but there was still a huge gap between him and the real top tiers like Omni-Man and the elite Viltrumites. He could survive them for a while, but surviving and matching them are not the same thing. By Season 4, Mark starts closing that gap for real. He is no longer an underdog hanging on by a thread. He is strong enough to exchange blows with some of the deadliest beings in his universe and make those fights believable. That matters because Viltrumites are the apex force in Invincible. They move at insane speed, hit with absurd power, and shrug off damage that would kill almost any other hero. They can tear through armies and wipe out advanced threats like it is nothing. So when Mark starts reaching that level, it says everything. He is no longer strong by Earth standards. He is becoming one of the strongest fighters in the setting. Durability is where Mark becomes a nightmare. He survives punishment that should end him on the spot, then still finds a way to keep fighting. He gets smashed, cut open, and pushed past his limits, yet he keeps getting back up. He does not heal instantly, but he recovers from damage that would permanently destroy most people. That gives him a huge edge. If you fight Invincible, hurting him once is not enough. Even hurting him over and over might not be enough. The longer the fight goes, the worse it gets for you, because Mark does not stop. His speed has improved too. Early Mark often felt like a strong brawler who happened to fly. Later, he starts moving more like a true Viltrumite. He closes distance faster, controls the air better, and uses momentum much more effectively. In a fight like this, speed matters as much as strength. The faster you move, the harder you hit. Season 4, Mark is far more complete than the one from earlier seasons. His mentality has changed too. In the beginning, Mark still fought like a normal, good-hearted kid trying to do the right thing. He hesitated, he held back, he wanted every problem to have a clean solution. But the world of Invincible does not reward that. It is brutal. If you hesitate, people die. Mark learns that the hard way. So by Season 4, he is far more decisive. He still cares. He still has a conscience. But he is no longer naive. He understands what some fights demand, and that makes him much stronger in practice. Put all of that together, and you get a terrifying fighter. Season 4 Invincible has elite alien strength, crazy durability, improved speed, growing combat skill, and a much harder mindset. Against most Earth-based threats, that is overkill. He would crush the vast majority of normal superhumans in his world. Most enemies simply are not built to handle someone at that level. That does not mean he is unbeatable. There are still monsters above him. There are still elite Viltrumites and major threats who can push him to the edge or beat him. But the fact that those are the only kinds of enemies worth mentioning says everything. Mark is no longer fighting to prove he belongs. He belongs. The best way to measure his growth is by comparing him to Omni-Man. Early in the story, Nolan was on a completely different level. Their fight was not close. Nolan crushed him. That gap defined early Invincible. By Season 4, that conversation starts changing. Mark still does not have all of Nolan's experience or cold efficiency, but he is getting close enough for the comparison to matter. And that alone shows how insane his growth has been. Stamina is another huge factor. Mark can keep fighting through insane exhaustion. His battles are never clean. They are long, ugly, and brutal. He gets slammed through buildings, launched across landscapes, and thrown from one crisis into another. Still, he keeps moving. That makes him deadly in drawn-out fights. Some characters burn out. Mark does not. And when the people he loves are in danger, he becomes even more dangerous. Pain matters less. Fear matters less. Doubt matters less. You get the version of Invincible who will throw himself into impossible odds because losing is not something he accepts. That emotional drive has always been part of him, but by Season 4 it is backed by real top-tier power. So how strong is Season 4 Invincible? He is strong enough to stand among the deadliest fighters in his universe. Strong enough to battle Viltrumites and not look out of place. Strong enough to overpower most Earth-level threats with ease. Strong enough to survive punishment that would kill almost anyone else. Season 4 Invincible is not strong because he cannot lose. He is strong because beating him is a nightmare. He is no longer the kid trying to catch up. He is becoming one of the biggest threats in the universe.